My fellow Liberians, despite our diversity, we are a united people, a great and noble people. Through the strength of our unity and the resilience of our determination, we have begun to rebuild a ravished country and have survived two deadly health crises. Our people have stood together as one united people, ready to face the future. Whether you are a fisherman of Grand Cru and Sino, the hunters of Grand Jide and River G, the farmers of Lofa and Bapolu, the Gola and Vai dancers of Bumi and Kipmount, the hospitable people of Bassa and River Ses, the warriors of Maryland, the miners and explorers of Nimba, the merchants and traders of Bong, the welcoming people of Magibi, or the melting pot of Montserrado. We are one people, Liberians. We have a great challenge and opportunity ahead of us. In unity, we will rebuild this country as a shining example in Africa, demonstrating the power of a determined and united people. Our economy and our national budget will expand and grow like never before. We will improve the lives of our people and put smiles on the faces of our citizens. I promise you that together we can and will do the job. A new day is on the horizon. The time for babysitting is over. God bless you and God bless Liberia.
Hello, 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 hello. The time for babysitting is over. Okay, please share the video. Share the video, share the video, share the video. Thank you very much. Let me see. I'm trying to share this video myself. If you live in the glass house, don't throw stones. You heard our music before. They say if you live in a glass house, don't throw stones. You got to be very careful the stones that you throw. because if I throw it back, your glass must smash. Uh, we're not going to stay too long yet today. We're going to have a nice show, talk. As usual, we talk politics and we add some social life in it. And I received a lot of calls today. You guys know me and people knows me. I receive calls from Liberia. I receive calls from America. I receive calls from France. Today, Spoon was on, and the host of Spoon, the owner, the host, who is Stanton Witherspoon, said that I went to Wawa and I stole coffee. But let me tell you something. It sounds stupid and foolish. Sometimes it's good to joke, but sometimes we don't know how to joke and we just go about. Maybe people expect me to come on here and really be so pissed off. Yes, I was pissed off because sometimes you don't joke that way. But the whole thing is that I went to Wawa as usual. Stanton and myself will always meet at the Wawa. And when I got in, he was already to the cashier, and I just said, "Hey, my man, what's up, Stan?" And we bumped at each other, and I passed by him. And I went to get coffee. I usually get one for myself and one for my aunt's husband because he loves. I always bring one for him. So he came to me. We started talking. First, he said, "Fake general. Look at the ANC fake general." So I just laughed about it. And then we started talking. We stood up, fixed my coffee, and we started talking. We talk for almost 10 minutes. Most of the time when we get together, we'll talk. So I started to walk out. While walking, while I get the first and second door. When we went through the first door, then I said, "Oh, damn." Then he said, "Oh, my man, you pay for the pool coffee." I started laughing. Then I turned around. I said, "My man, that is too much talking, man." Then Stater said, "My man, let's go, man." I said, "For what?" I went back. I went back in the place and I paid for the two coffee. And then he got in his car. And then I came, he called me. We started talking. He was on the phone with somebody, but I will not call the person name. The person is my witness. The person said made a comment today on Spoon and said that nonsense he was talking. So he started explaining. I said, "Damn." I said, "But man, you." Then he said, "Oh, the ANC people want tea coffee." He said, "I will tell the person the ANC man." So I said, you can't say that." I said, "Why would I want to steal coffee?" I said, "Oh, so that's the topic you want." We started joking about it. And then he said, "There's the person who was on the phone was listening to the conversation." I will not call the person name that was on the phone because, in fact, he told me who was on the phone because he was on the phone with the person on a Bluetooth, and he said, "This is XYZ that was on the phone." So I even Paul, why you tell me because that's your private conversation? Why should I know what you talking to? But he actually called the person name, and the person listened to it. Then he said, "Oh, one of my neighbor, this white guy said he go to Wawa all the time and get coffee free." So I said, "Well, it's up to him." I said, "But they got some free deal for coffee." I said, "But you got to use the app. You use the coffee, the Wawa app. You got free coffee." But nobody, I don't use the Wawa. I got the app, but I don't use it. But I go there all the time. So he said, "Oh, they got free." I said, "But why people want to just walk in place and take coffee out?" I said, "It happened." I said, "A lot of people that come in here and walk in and walk out, But to my surprise, going on social media, you know, why I'm very calm because I received a lot of calls today while I was at the theater because I took my kids at the theater, and everybody were calling me. People were calling. Two of my boys called from Liberia and said, "Oh, but Chief, and Stanton talking about you that you stole coffee." Then people call me from here and text me. These are some of the texts. Uh, in fact, the text that I sent to Stanton, the place, one of the 3D. So the place was so dark. I just reading it. I made a lot of mistakes on the text. I made some mistakes in the text when I was sending it to him. I said, hope you are, you know my eyeball now. Hope you are, hope you will stand the heat. I said, hope you will stand the heat. You don't have to make up lies about me. This is not a joke. When I look, my phone rang while I was in the theater. My phone rang, and then I text him back. I say I'm at the theater with my kids. Then I say, why you have to lie? I was trying to say, you told me the story. You told me the story about your neighbor, but I think I took out the T. I was so pissed off. I was really pissed off when I was in the theater. Let me tell you guys, I was so pissed off. I almost told my kids, let's go home, because I really wanted to answer him. But so let me tell you some of the texts I received. Another guy texted me, General, and Stanton is on you saying that you stole coffee from Wawa. Please don't reply. Do not attack him. Let it go. We know who you are. Then another text from a friend, and said, you listening, you watching Spoon right now? Your name is in Stanton mouth. He put in the library and said, your name is Stanton Muffle. He said you stole coffee from Wawa. You know, I try to say this. We got to be very careful what we talk about each other. But I'm going to tell Stanton, he will have to go back and rewrite his story. I'm not going to say anything. You see, when you bring these things up, that means you are prepared and ready for anything. To go personal, do you know what it means if you say you steal? Don't you know that the police can go after you? If I come on social media, I say XYZ went to Wawa and stole, or went to Walmart, the police can go after you. Why would you do such a thing? Why? That is not intelligent. And if I stole from Wawa, if it was truth, then he got a right to say it, which I would not blame him for that. But you and I walking out after we stood up for 10 minutes, I went there to get coffee. Coffee that I go to that place every day until they know my name. They know him too. And we walk out together. Not even outside. We cross the first. It looked like he was set. You know, I surprised. You, I don't even know how to explain it. By the time I got out of the first door, he said, "Oh, man, you can't pour coffee." I started laughing. I said, "Oh, damn." Then he said, "But let's go, leave it, man. They won't know. Leave it, forget it. Other people come here and get free coffee." I said, "For what?" I went back. I gave the lady. In fact, when I got there, I started laughing. I said, "Guess what?" They almost said, "What?" I said, I walk out with a coffee and we laugh about it, and I gave her the $5. And the person was on the phone. I would not call the person name. Today, the person made a comment on the show when he was saying that nonsense. I only want to say this. I'm not running for president. It's not because I'm supporting that. Kev said, oh, the ANC people like to steal. They like to finger this. They like to say this. But I'm not ready yet. I'm letting you guys to know he will have to rewrite, demand a public apology. If Stanton was to come up and say, because I knew he was going to joke about it, say, guess what? I met the general and he myself were talking. He forgot. He was walking out with the people coffee. I had to yell at him before he went back and pay, or because I had to talk to him. But for you to say that I stole coffee, let me tell you, you see this color? When I was coming up in Liberia, I used to love my football business until I was TM for IE. I never jump over the fence. I never go to places that I will go in free because I'm quick to be embarrassed. You know what I'm saying? And you talk about who make me general. There are so many generals. When you go on Facebook, on Facebook, on YouTube, you see general show, you see general this. But let me, since I want to know how I got the general to the 25 people that are watching me. Most of my friends from labor ministry at the time called me general. I was an inspector general of Liberia Ministry of Labor. I started with labor ministry in 1991 up to 99. I started as a driver until I went to inspector general. The people call Akara Gray general. They call Francis Doe general. My girl Lelia, they call her general. Why Stanton will be so personal? How he got a general? Do you think because they say general that means you were in the army? Or because only major general, wasn't a general whatsoever? There is nothing against the law for me to call myself general. He called himself CEO. CEO is the chief executive officer. Anybody who named themselves CEO is just to show off. Chief executive officer, maybe you the owner, or maybe you just the chief executive officer. You call yourself the name that you feel like calling yourself. You can call yourself any name. But I just want to tell him, right now I'm calm. I'm very calm. I was pissed off. Maybe I was getting ready to say some stuff, but my other side told me not to. I text him that I want you to correct your story. Say what is right. It took 5 minutes. It was on radio in Liberia to tell the Liberian people that I stole coffee. If any one of you who close to him watching it right now are very calm, I would not want to go personal. I would not want to do certain things. Or if you want me to open fire, tell team that we can go into whatsoever, that everything, I told him in one of my papers, I say, if you don't correct your story, everything is on the table. He did call me, but you guys know that it's wrong. You can't do that. I can't come on social media and lie about somebody, or because you and myself not supporting the same person and has carried lies about you. I hate lies. I hate when you give a false. I'm one of the person. If you see a police pull me over and they handcuff me, and you say I saw Munel, they handcuff him, I will not get mad because yes, you saw them. But if you change the story, you distracted me. We spoke for 10 minutes and I had a coffee in my hand at the door in the place. It's not the first time that we talk. I'm just disappointed in him. I'm surprised. That is not an intelligent attitude, and that is wrong. I'm a family man. I got kids. I got wife. I'm working. I've never ever, nobody will tell me Mr. Kishan or Munel steal this or this or that. I'm one of the most honest person that you will ever get to know. I'm not perfect, but honesty is what I live by. Maybe that is why I'm not rich today. I'm not a corrupt guy. I am not a corrupt person because I was well taught. I was brought up correctly. Once that lie steals, and when you steal, you can kill. That is my philosophy, and that is my thing. Anybody that lied a lot, they can steal, and when you start to steal, you will kill. But you can't do that to your friend. You can't do that. I don't have to be your friend. And, maybe we just acquaintances. We were in the same church together. Stanton and myself went to the same church. We're in Charles Martin in the fellowship and church, Baptist church. But you can't do that. You can't go on social media and continue to talk about people. You can. Sometimes you must respect other people. Don't let nothing fool your eyes. Do you know what? If I get mad right now and start saying some things that I know, you guys will be the same one inboxing me saying, Monel, don't go that route. But I think that is not fair. So if you on the Spoon Show advise Stanton, and I will call him tomorrow again. I don't even want an apology one on one. Just go right back there and say the truth. Yeah. Don't lie on me. Don't lie on me. I will not take it. I will not accept it. But I am very calm right now. I am very calm. If it remains like this, the Kef Hassan, the Stanton, and you think you're going to make fun out of this, maybe the next one will not be too good. Yes. And I will tell you, nobody got nothing on me. Nobody got nothing on Mr. Kishen. There is nothing that you think you will find on me that you will want to use. I might get 10 person watching me, but I got 3 to 4 Facebook pages that people follow. I got a Facebook page that got 5,000 friends that is black, that is filled, and other people, when they will see my post, I don't have to get 10,000 people watching me. So we got to be careful what we do on Facebook. I shouldn't use my platform to damage other people. We must say politics. I might tell you the truth. I can look at you and say you corrupt because I know that you corrupt. You government officials. I see what you're supposed to be making and what you get and why you're getting it and what you're doing. We can see it in the public court of opinion. But you and myself, you can't just go to you tell. Do you know that police, even if you go on Facebook and start to explain, oh yes, I was smoking weed, I was doing this. What his name? This kid was on Facebook smoking. They arrested him. Just imagine on Facebook he was smoking weed and wrapping it up. They look for him, they find him, they arrested him. You can't lie and say I stole coffee, my brother. That is not fair. If I start to go off, I know people who watch me say, Mooney, you ought to, you too good for that. I'm just saying it. Okay, guys, I try to come up with a show every Friday. I've been married for 18 years. Amongst all my friends, I think I'm still married because the ones who stay married to were married before. I got married before them. And I got this thing I try to think about how to keep relationship, how you can take care of your wife, how your wife can take care of you. What is the role of a woman in the home? What's the role of a man in the home? You know, I have this saying all the time that the woman is the neck, the man is the head. Without the neck, there is no head. And what men should do, no matter how bad and how pissed off your woman is, you just have to be very calm. You got to be, don't disrespect them outside. You can chastise your wife indoor, but don't disrespect them outside. They are very sensitive. They can forgive you easily than you forgive them. It's hard for us to just forgive a woman, especially when you catch them. So we just have to be very careful. They're very easy people to deal with. They are very easy. So I want to put something together. We'll be talking about it, and I will tell you the best they what keep relationship together. And but when I read it, I can because when I start that program, it will be what PG PG something. That means it will be little not graphic, but some talks will be in there that people will, but only on Friday. I don't want to talk about politics on Saturday, on Friday. I want to take that day to talk about family. So maybe I will introduce my family to you. It might be you'll see my wife. I will interview her. I will talk to my kids, and I will bring other people, family in to see. And I got married couple friends. Let me tell you, make you understand. I got single friends, but I got our real friends are married people now. You don't expect somebody who is not married to advise you, you know. Okay, now guys, vote Alexander Cummings. Alexander Cummings for president. You know, people going around. Okay, guys, thanks to everyone who is watching and to Yamontu, Yamontu, Moses, Mevina, how are you, man? Abdullah and others. And what name? Christiana Cole. Christian, I've been seeing your text. And my own DOC. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Share the video. Listen, people going around telling you, I know you in America, you afraid. Don't lie, you afraid. Can Mr. Cummings win this election? Can Mr. Cummings win this election? Oh, the people say Mr. Cummings he's not resonating, he's not gravitating to the people. You know, he don't have that charisma. Listen to me. Don't let nobody fool you, my people. Don't let nobody. Listen to the names and people who are telling you that nobody know Mr. Cummings. It's the same people, the same names from UP or from CDC. The same names. When Mr. Cummings traveling, when he go into a district or community, the people that can be there at stake. Listen, we will win this election in the first round. I don't care if it will be a second round. Listen to me. Save all my video. If Christmas will be good, you will get to know from the eve. In politics, you don't sit back. If you don't campaign, you will lose. If you don't give the message to the people, you will lose. The people must see you. They must interact with you. Long-time Liberians have always been sitting back and wait because I was second in this place. So next year, I will be the next person. Or if George Weah leave and spend 2 years, 2 terms, then I will be there myself. It don't work that way. We still got work to do. And let me tell you guys, I've never been confident about winning than now. And listen, the Cummings team, they are working the butts up. When you see me talking like this, that means I have talked to people and I've been talking to people. You think I just call foolish people then who sitting down? Some of my friends then they say the CDC or the UP. Yes, I say foolish. You think the kind of people that I call? No, 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 no. In fact, I made some of my friends. I said right now, my brother, fast and you can't eat from me because you already in your own party. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Cummings will win this election. CPP will sweep this election. They can say what? Oh, Unity Party and Liberty Party going together. From there, they coming to join the Unity Party. Let them go ahead. If you think Mr. Cummings is no force in Liberia, then don't worry about him. This is the only man with a clean plans for Liberia. This is the only man with the vision for Liberia. I'm not speaking for any other candidate because I see no candidates that telling me what they will do. Why you stay sitting there talking about 1990, You still coming back to rewind or tip or 419 tip that gave you the presidency by lying that you went to Bujumbura camp and other refugee camp, and you were the only person who loved Liberia, and they gave it to you. Since we gave it to you, what is your records? What are your records? Your records you running on what you did. Stop complaining and lying and telling Liberian people when the people are dying. You see, protest is good, protest is not good. Sometimes it's good to protest. What we achieved today, what we achieved that we had a national holiday for census today. What Liberia achieved? Are we prepared? Ready? The president is out of the country, everybody out of the country, but we're having census today. Kept the people home, doing nothing when they're supposed to go be looking for food. You kept them home. You said national holiday, but the president is not in the country. What about the other citizens that travel to go do their business and come back? You going to check them too? Or the president left his name on the floor and they're just going to put his name, they're just going to do it, say President we are and blah, 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 and all the other people? This president went on a trip that would not benefit Liberia. He had no look. This president could have sent, but you know what the president traveled for? Because of money, because of Padan. We got, but Liberians, if you don't put your act together, Samuel 12 then will use you. Eugene Nabode and others will use you. The president of Liberia is the problem of Liberia. He appoints them. He did everything. He gave them the job. The president of Liberia is the problem. And this is not about George Manneh Weah. It's about the president of Liberia. Whoever is the president, he's a bad leader. George Manneh Weah is the president of Liberia. He don't like Liberians. He don't like Liberians. And Liberians, you people that are living out of Liberia, you are the worst people. You are one of the worst Liberians ever. I put it in general, we are the worst. You in America, you in Europe. You know exactly what happened in Liberia. The president sitting in front of you and say, let us have a dialogue. But he alone, he talk you off but a dialogue. The president lied to you. In Europe, he was sitting again with the people, lying to them, and all of them sitting there. They are all seditions. Let me ask you something. Do you believe that CDC will win election in Liberia? President Weah came to America, he talked to only seditions because he believed that seditions are the only Liberians. That's what put him into this mess in today, because he only relate to seditions and not even helping seditions. He's not even helping you. That is why we say don't blame yourself. He's still not helping you, but you pretending as if it's okay. So if you see a sedition talk show on social media or on radio, to be frank with you, they're only trying to keep the small little base they got. They're trying to keep them together, to at least try something to keep them. Just to try something or to bring the old seditions back. But you're not nothing. How can you win? What are the opposition not together? And they don't need to have one candidate or whatsoever. If they want to have one candidate, fine. But even they are all oppositions going against you. If you enter, if there will be second round, you will lose because everybody going to go one side and it will be you alone. You alone. So I don't know why you think that, oh, then when you're ready, I enjoy the sedition. They want all the opposition. Where you see the way the opposition are holding together, and Joe, we will win the thing again. Your team like Brempo stupid. Your team like Brempo stupid. You think like Brempo ain't get arbor. The country is hard. People are struggling to see how to eat. The country is hard. Let agree, inflation is around the world, all over. But our president spending millions of dollars to travel just to go to something that will not even benefit us. The president talked about climate change. Climate change. You think our people country they both looking at? You think our country like bro will be really looking at? Put your act together. Put yourself together and show the people that you are serious. The president said, you know, when I took over, I cut my salary 25%. Then they brought a harmonization. Then they cut again. Liberian people, you believe it? Everybody see the corruption koro with their own eyeball. With their own eyeball. Young people in Liberia. Youth, this election is in your hands. We would not. This election is right in your palm between 19 to 35. It is your future. It is your future. And if you think you're in Liberia and the people in the Americas or Europe or whatsoever are your enemies, then you're getting it wrong. There are people, professionals, well-settled people who want to go home. But there's certain things now in Liberia, they can't come home. They're not looking for a job. That you will be the one that will be calling them. And it's not sort of be that way. There are people in Liberia who don't have the opportunity to travel. There are people in Liberia who don't have nobody in America to send them $10. There are people in Liberia who wishing for things to happen for them to get out. If you take a ship to Liberia today and say we want Liberians to come to America, I know all of you will get on it. We are not your enemies. You don't allow politicians to tell you we are your enemies when the same politician can come to America to beg for money when they're running for office. When they're running for office, they come here and beg. When they get in power, then they say, oh, the point in the diaspora, they're for nothing people. Then they're for nothing. So this coming election is very important. If you're George Weah supporter and you're listening to me here today, it will hurt your feelings. It will go into you and it will disturb you. President Weah is the most corrupt Liberian president ever. From his last 5 years, for his 5 years performance. And sometimes when you talk about corruption, you think corruption are only about stealing. No. Everything is in there. Everything. For the last 12 years, when you were in opposition, you demonstrated, you were in the news every day. We will make sure Madam Salif government in trouble. Your protester with honor clothes, with ketchup on it, doing all kinds of things, insulting. You're the one that started the whole Facebook cussing. But we still telling you, don't blame yourself for George Weah failure. You're not the one who running the government. You are not the one who making the decision. Your responsibility, your constitutional right, you implemented it. You voted for him. It is your right. It is your right. It is my right not to vote or to vote. But I will not vote for you and you're not doing the right thing, then I should still vote for you. I support Mr. Cummings if Mr. Cummings is president and he's not doing the right thing. It is my right. The same vote that I put in, I will take it off the next time. Or I will criticize, or I will not criticize, but I will take it off the next time. You cannot sit there and be used by leaders. No. You are the boss. You voted them into power. But because of poverty, and sometimes it's shameful. That's why I say people in America, we are the problems. In Liberia, they got two groups of criminals. They got a local criminal that can steal your pocketbook, steal your cell phone, steal your TV, break into your house. But guess what? They can choose who to steal from. They got the other criminals they call the political criminals. They steal your life. They steal your children's future. They steal everything from you to keep you poor. And guess what? We select them. We are the one that glorify them. Why? Why? Why you should glorify a man that's not doing the right thing? If you elect a man, if you vote for someone, you're voting for them to be an humanitarian to you. You're not voting for them to look for money and come and pave the road in front of your house. Not the role of legislators. They are not humanitarians. But do you know why they do that? Because of you. Because of your community leaders. Some of them are so damn corrupt. Oh, the road are coming in front of our place. They road too bad. You may get car, you worry about the road bad. You living on the place, you may get car, but you worry about the man should come and greater your road. Or public street. Or road that is owned by the government. All you need to do, let that man commit himself to you that if I take over, I will push it for the government to push to fix this road. Or even if he want to do it, he can have a fundraiser and look for the same companies or the businesses that are operating in that community to raise money and do it. Not to use a salary as if he's helping you. That's why they are corrupt. The man build our schools. You're not benefiting from the school. You still will have to pay school fees. The man open a clinic. You will still have to pay the clinic bill. That's his own property. He built 10,000 houses. It will not benefit you. That's his own business. It's for him. He will make the money and you will be, yeah, look at that guy. Look at the compound that guy built. My man, all the job that man get, that job get chopping. Some of you see this shit, you're not even ashamed. You're living in the greatest country in the world that you will never suffer. Then you sit your butt in America and look at the people in Liberia and say, y'all don't mind there. And some of y'all in Liberia, y'all sit there and listen to your same people because they gave you $5, then you cost us. We know what we're doing. Look at that cartoon pusher. Let me tell you the thing here. I'll be honest today. I never thought I was going to come to America. God bless me, I came to America. There are people who were in America before me. There are people who I came to America before them. In America, if you go to school, when you graduate, you can find a job. Even if you're in high school, the trainer who in high school, they can find a job. If you're working and they fire you, you can get unemployment. In Liberia, when they fire you, you can't get unemployment. In Liberia, if you graduate, you can't find job unless you are already working and you went to school and you still get job. In America, if they lay me off, I can go for unemployment. In Liberia, the same thing, you can't do nothing. In America, if I'm not even working, I get unemployment, I can get free food. Now, in America, anybody you tell me said I go to bed hungry, they listen. Anybody who go to bed hungry, because if you register, they get plenty of free food around here. They got a food bank, you go get free food. In Liberia, you don't get it. In America, you can get loan to go to school. You can get loan to do plenty things. In America, in Liberia, they didn't get it. They didn't get it. You know, see, that is the thing. So don't think that we will suffer. God bring us in this country. The only way you suffer in America unless you listen. That is what you're supposed to say. You that in a Liberia, if you see anybody suffering in America, they listen. But I cannot tell Liberian men in Liberia that you listen because the opportunity is not there. The men graduate from college. Not because some people get small money, they go in the bush and they say they be going to make coal. Then not everybody can make coal. Then not everybody can go and burn coal. Then so tell me, I would not tell nobody in Liberia. Yes, don't get me wrong, they get lazy people there, but I will not tell them they listen because you know what? The only time I can know that you listen when the facilities is there, when everything is there. Eh? Before, y'all don't know that they have vacation student in Liberia. Those days, when you after school, when school closed, y'all will go to the different ministries and they will find work for y'all. At least so you get small little when they after the school year and that short day period, you get like $150 US. Even at that time they had the dough coin. You get $150, you take care of your school business. I'm gonna say I did vacation job 2 times. 2 times. But you're not finding it anymore. You can't see it anymore. Then you say Liberia sweet. People leave from here and go to Liberia. You get 10. Imagine you get about 20 Liberians. They went to Liberia. Out of the 20, they came back. One man say the country is sweet. One or two persons say the country is sweet. I should listen to you. The other person say, but man, the place high. You go to Liberia, you put 5,000 in your pocket. You close your eye on everybody. You enjoy yourself. You got all the template there. You enjoy. You can't read by. You say Liberia sweet. And you come by and work again. Do you think about your brothers and sisters back home? Do you think about the young people who don't have the means? They graduate, they stay passing around. Because of hardship now, they are so corrupt. You can't trust none of them. That's what makes them corrupt because there is nothing there. Because there is nothing there. You don't know who to trust. Everybody lie to you. Everybody come to you. They call you. They lie. They lie. That is why I got only one picking out dealing with Sidiki. So they say when you see one good Liberian picking, especially in your relatives, you make sure you stick to him. And today I'm so proud and happy that people call Siliki to do work for them. I'm surprised. I said, wow. And when I met Siliki, I talked to him like a little brother and said, Piggy, let me say this. The first day I talked to Siliki, I've been talking to a lot of people in America to help him with his school. The first day I talked to Siliki, I told him, he said, big brother, I graduated, but I didn't get money to go to school 1 whole year. And I said that. I said, send me your WIAC paper and send me everything. In less than 10 minutes, he took the pictures and sent it. I called one of my friends, Labrador, to check. So I try and say, my man, the people you send me are fake paper, man. He said, well, big brother, that's my paper. If you see the paper fake, there's nothing I can tell you. He never argue. He never argue with me to say, hey, how you see this? There's a friend, that a childhood friend. He called me and said, man, big brother, not easy, my son's school fees and blah, 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 blah. I said, okay, how much? He said $75. I said, what school your son going to? He know his son's school and he's stuck. Then I heard in the background, Gary Baptist, Gary Baptist, Gary Baptist. I said, okay, give me the school information. If they got any telephone number whatsoever, I will cash out, I will send a send wave to pay the money. You show $75 yet. He called me again, he gave me different lelo. He gave me different lelo at the NRA. But Siddiqui told me, big brother, that's my paper. I don't need to lie to you. I've tried so many people in America and whatsoever, but I don't need to lie to you. I said, why? It's an honest kid. The one that they will argue. No, 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 no. Another picking who I know, he called me about AME, you, and this and that. By the time you start talking too much, I listen to your talk. I know that you look, you can't fool me. But what I'm trying to say, there are a lot of good kids in Liberia, but sometimes you don't know. But because of one bad, in fact, some of them have started calling me when I talk about Siddiqui bike. The Lord boy say, hey, big brother, you don't try some of us that, oh, we good. Oh. I said, brother, we can't try you too. That's true. I agree. I'll try you. But that Siddiqui, that the one that passed the test. I said, you are not part of the other group that been. When I get vexed, I mean that the people that are picking them bad now. I'm not saying it. The ones then who try, I will not call them, they're plenty. They know themselves. They know themselves. You can't call Mel and me. I must say I'm a call. I've been around. I see things. I live in Liberia. I come to America in 1932 or 1970. I must say I went through the same war in Liberia. I ate cocodoro. I ate beans. I ate pan cabbage. I face camp pan cabbage with cake and shortbread and all kinds of things. I got a scar on my foot for pan cabbage. You know what I'm saying? The monkey now used to go in the bush to down steal cassava. We now go in the people place during the war. Everybody hustling for food down around Dixville. So all these things, we know it. So we saw it. We know what it means when a kid struggling today. I'm so happy for Siddiqui. That is why I say I got to do everything for Siddiqui to get a bike. And I want to say thank you. And also I want to recognize the Dumuya Factor. There's a group that was sponsoring Dumuya and Minipako Dumuya. They raise money. They are the one that actually the number one sponsors for the general show in Liberia on Radio Liberty 2 times a week. They got, I think Amanda is in that group. Amanda Wright, my Bob Peel, and Air Lewis, and I think maybe Dr. Francis, but I don't know who all into that group. But I want to say, in fact, I'm going to do a flyer that they are, and apart from that, there are other people who supporting this group that they don't want me to call their names, but like Siafa Dix, and there's another lady, she said, Mona, please don't call my name. And my girl Gwen was one of those. And one of our sponsor again, that was his name, and foreign guy, and one of the guy, and my girl, what her name, my Morella, and her husband. All these people. But I don't just let to be calling people because some people don't want to be called. And another lady even bought a phone for Siddiqui. She called, they just called and say, go to this telephone company and get yourself a brand new phone. Because the kid is an honest kid. I will be honest with you. He's somebody that you can call upon anytime to help you. If you want to do anything in Liberia, he will do it. I can promise you that. He's a kid that you think if you want him to help you in Liberia to run after certain things, he can do it. People have called him, and I was surprised he told me about something that I'm not going to say it yet. He said, oh, this man called me and said, oh, the general said you're honest, but please do this for me. And he did it already. I said, wow, I was surprised. And that's good. He going to school. He still doing late classes. We still chip in. He got to go to the studio every Tuesday and Sunday. He will be there on time. And Thursday and Sundays, he will be there on time. He got to go home in the night because the show is 9 o'clock in Liberia. By the time we finish, it's almost 11 o'clock for him to, he got to find his way home. I'm afraid, I'm scared, to be frank, because I would not sleep well and I would not, it would not serve my conscience if anything happened to that kid. So please, in any way possible, if we can help, if you want to chip in, you can chip in. But we will do what we do. We will continue to fight. This election is not easy. Some people think that it's for popularity. No, it's not about me. It's not about me. Mr. Cummings could win tomorrow and never call our name or call my name. But should I get mad? No. So I'm in this process for Liberia. I'm in this process for Liberia to be better, that I will go home. That is why Mr. Cummings is in the process. That is why Billy is in the process. That is why and Gabriel and other people into the process. That is why everybody supporting Mr. Cummings into this process, because we want good for Liberia. People who don't like Mr. Cummings, they all know that Mr. Cummings is the best guy. But because of their selfish gain, that some of them will not make it. And listen, have an open mind. ANC alone cannot make Mr. Cummings president. And anybody can be Mr. Cummings vice president. It could be Yombli Kanga. It could be Jeremiah Kuhn. It could be Tiawan Gonglo. It could be you. It could be me. The number one thing is that the vision bearer is the one we look at. Liberty Party have the reconciliation and everything goes well. Don't let nobody fool it's for UP. It could be for ANC. It could be for ANC too. And Mr. Cummings will say, okay, fine. Since Liberty Party together, maybe Bility and Yombly have agreed now. That's okay, fine. Then we will take the VP from Liberty Party. It could be Yombly. It could be anybody from Liberty Party. But the other people will tell you, so this election going to be fun. Everybody who support Mr. Cummings, they are criminals. So just watch it. Other people name going to join the list to be criminal too. Oh, maybe I didn't get it. I'm not speaking in tone. People will come out who will support Mr. Cummings. Darius Dillon will come out and support Mr. Cummings, and you will call him criminal. But some people think that we against Darius Dillon because he's not supporting Mr. Cummings. We're against Darius Dillon because of his own attitude. That's it. And then make it worse by not supporting Mr. Cummings too. But he's still a better senator than all the other corrupt guys. So this coming election, and guess what? CPP is having or their convention. It will be at the SKD Stadium. So people say, wow, SKD? Yeah. We having it at SKD. SKD, the Samuel Canyon Dole Stadium. That is where we will be having our convention to announce Mr. Cummings officially as the standard bearer of CPP. There will be no Liberty Party, no ANC It's all CPP. All CPP. We're not stopping until the election is over. Only the Liberian people will give us the answer, and we'll respect the Liberian people wishes. Let me make it to understand. But we will not allow no one to infringe on our rights, not even the government headed by President Weah to infringe on our rights. No way. No way. So you seditions that commenting, you know, I love about sedition, they don't, their comments, it make, you know, not even seditions alone. When you tell John Brown, say, John Brown, you lie. You gave no. John Brown, you don't. Okay, let me just say, oh, Peter don't speak French. Peter is not a Frenchman. Then you said I lie. You lying. But you're not telling me nothing. You just say I'm lying. I'm speaking French. You say my man speaking nonsense, I lie, but you can't speak French. But you say I'm not speaking French. President, we are speaking French. I don't understand. I don't say he lying. There are people who understand French that say, President, we are lying because he's not speaking good French. Or maybe he's not speaking the right one, but he's speaking French. So I don't look at these things. But if you tell me Mr. Cummings can never be president, I can tell you, say, no, it's not truth. Or you lying. Mr. Cummings will be. Mr. Cummings can be. He's qualified. But I don't have to curse you when you say Mr. Cummings now will not be president. Oh, in your dreams. Good. In my dream. That's fine. I don't know how you ever see my dream because nobody can see another person's dream. So, seditions, you fighting for your own life support. Let me tell you the real truth. Your own life support. You are actually on life support. And another thing, you guys from the UP, we know your strategy. Don't go that route. Do not pretend to be sedition to attack Mr. Cummings. Some of you guys are not rooted and not deep into this city's and UP business. You don't know what's going on. I don't want you to be disappointed. I don't want it. Look, like Bility said the other day, and this is one of the problems that we have with you guys in the UP. You do not go to negotiation with one suggestion. No educated man, no man with common sense, even according to the rabble rule of law that some of you guys don't know about. When the rabble rule of law, that's the one they use in parliament. This rabble rule of law was written by one general. He's a former general. When they put it together, they use it in churches, then they brought it into God. It's a universal rule. That means how to control and meetings and arguments. So there's a universal rule. You know, a chairman has power to recognize you or not to recognize you. That's the same rules that to call someone to order if they're taking the wrong path and whatsoever. So these are some of the things that they do. You guys, they will tell you, I need a motion. Or somebody will give a suggestion. There were two suggestions. There should be two. Now, Mr. Cummings and Mr. Boakai could go in the room, or we all meet, but let us discuss. Mr. Cummings will say, Mr. Boakai, Mr. Cummings, okay, let me make Mr. Cummings, I've done it before. Mr. Cummings told Boakai that, JB, I need your support. I want you to raise my hands up. Mr. Boakai did not answer. Okay. But Mr. Boakai never told Mr. Cummings, man, I really want you to go as my vice president. Somebody got to talk to somebody. Mr. Cummings, okay, we say, let Mr. Boakai, since you've been there for 12 years, vice president, we need new face. I think it will be suitable and best for Liberia if you can support Mr. Cummings to take the lead. Oh, no, Mr. Cummings, we can't do that. What we want you to do, give Mr. Boakai the chance and then you can go as vice president of Mr. Bwaka, and we can sign this memorandum of understanding, which is not a contract. And or we can sign this that after my first term, I will not run again, just to give you the time. You know, but you need two suggestions on the floor. But the UP people saying, nope, no way. Mr. Bwaka cannot. That is where everything they kick it off. So they are the one who broke up the CPP because they're the only said that the only thing that, oh no, we can't go to that place, that we can't go to the convention. If we go to the convention, it will be a problem. Mr. Cummings going to bribe, Mr. Cummings going to do this and all kinds of things. So we cannot take Mr. Cummings to the convention. So either Mr. Cummings agree to go as VP, but we pass by it. There are so many other understanding that whoever, if there will be a second round, then we will support you. So let us be careful. Hi, Gwen. Gwen, I hear they say you retire or you leaving this thing here too. Now you've been there for so long. I'm one of my strong supporter over there. Thanks, Gwen, for everything. Thank you very much. And, so all these things, but they left already. We're moving on. We're fighting. We still talking. Why you're still sitting in the back, worrying who to carry as VP and who not to carry as VP? Mr. Ure is sitting there and say, if you carry Yombly, I will leave. If you carry Lombly, all kinds of things. Oh, the Liberty Party, they're having a reconciliation. When they finish, they will go to Liberty, they will go to Mr. Bwaka. Let me tell you, one person I know will not betray Mr. Cummings is Musa Belete. When things were tough on Mr. Cummings, when they were trying to prosecute him and destroy him, one man stood on the side of Alex Cummings. The ability. Why we're in America talking this and that? Because if Belete was not on the side of Mr. Cummings, the other three parties. So ANC members, some of you still don't trust Mr. Belete, eh? That means you have a trust problem. You don't trust yourself. Liberty Party is equal with ANC. Yes, we might be the one who with the standard bearer. Yes, the standard bearer has the right to choose his own vice president. Yes, if he's president, he will make the decision, but they have the same right. Let us get it to our head that a CPP is not ANC. Thank God it's CPP. You see today in CDC, they got Congress for Democratic Change, National Patriotic Party, and they got the LPDP. They sat there that CDC, Congress for Democratic Change, fooled them and say, you know what? Let's just name a Coalition for Democratic Change. Watching now, the initial. So the seditious with the small brains, to them, is Congress for. That's why they still make the mistake. We are the Congress for Mighty Coalition, the Mighty Congress, and Congress for Democratic Change. They still call themselves Congress for Democratic Change. Some of them can catch themselves and they say, oh, no, coalition. And guess what? They still use the Congress for Democratic Change logo. You see how CDC fooled them? If you look on the CPP logo, when the four parties were together, they had a four parties logo. CDC, look at the CDC old seal and look at the new seal today. You see how CDC, because NPP just wanted something. NPP had a very good base, in a sense. When I say base, people all over the place. So they came back to rally around the rebels. They came back to rally around. And still Joshua messed with them. Today, Prince Johnson and crying. People confused. We don't know if President we are going to contest. We don't even know that if President we are going to contest the election. Oh yeah, we don't know. He don't look at. I will be running for re-election and still be out of the country by this time. 6 weeks. The president going to the World Cup. He was not invited by FIFA. He want to go, he can go as an ordinary citizen. He going there to me to see his son playing for the United States. And let me tell you today, let me be able to understand. I'm proud, and I will say it with no fear or favor, that Munir Kishen did the first video when Timothy was on the Honor 14 national U.S. national team in Mercer County. I was called upon by George Manning Weah to do that video, and I gave it to him, man. They didn't pay me to do it. It was free. The fact is that he's American. He's an American citizen. Whether you're American citizen, you can still play for Liberia now. But when you play for Liberia, you can't play for America. And let me clear some nonsense one guy writes on Facebook. Maybe most of you guys don't understand when it comes to soccer. He said George Manning Weah is a patriot. Weah refused to naturalize in France because he want to play for Lone Star and not France national team. For those of you who listening to me, maybe you know, and you know that what I'm saying is truth. But if you don't know, George Weah played for the Lone Star before going professional. Once you play for a country, you can never play for another country. That's the rules of FIFA. The Lamte boys, these guys from what they call it, from Ghana. The other one play for Germany and the other one play for Ghana. They are all Ghanaians. Once you play for a country, once you wear that Honor 17 in the Honor 21 jersey for the first time and your name is registered, you cannot play for any other country. So George, we are naturalized in France like any other African, English African countries because of playing time. In France, 4 players, 4 foreign players is allowed to be on the field. 4 foreign players. You can't use more than foreign players on the field. So the guys from Mali, Senegal, Ivory Coast in France, they consider them as a French citizen. The ones them from Liberia, Ghana, Sierra Leone, no, you are a foreign players. So George Weah, you know that James Dibatu naturalized in that place. Betty Pele, Anthony Yeboah, all the guys naturalized just to have playing time. That's it. That's what they naturalized for. So if you say that George Weah never naturalized in France, and you because you love President Weah, there's nothing wrong with it. He played for Liberia. He already played for Liberia. If George Weah was never going to wear the jersey of Liberia, I can tell people for free George Weah was going to play for France or maybe play for America. Then you know Liberia would last so much. One the other news came in. America want to naturalize George Weah to play for the U.S. national team. Look at that. We believe in lies. That's why our country, the entire country, LIB, everything is lies about us. We don't believe the truth. The truth takes too much time to enter Liberia. Chronicle, Sports War, they used to lie. I came to America. I saw the company, Taylor Tree Company. They had it in the newspaper. They said that tree company was owned by Charles Taylor. The Taylor Tree Company. Eh? The Sherwin William Paint. One guy told me say that one Mr. Sherwin William, my friend who passed, he said that the man owned the paint company. Eh? Go and Google comics and see how many comics that will come up. Alexander comics. If you don't say Alexander comics of Liberia, they will show you the white comics. They will show you all kinds of comics and all kinds of things. That is why one of fool said Mr. Cummings contributed $400,000 to a gay organization in America. Look at that. We lie too much. That's why the officials, the corrupt officials, they know that you love to lie. That's why they use us. Because we love to lie. Why? What it will take you? You already in the water. Why you worry about getting wet? Why are you waiting for $5 again from the same man who you voted for? Then you cry on his name. You waiting for him to come back to you for the second time and bring the rice and the food. Then you vote for him again. That means you're a fool. That means you are a fool. But one thing I will tell you, you must register first. Stand your ground. You can change the system. The system is not about just one man. It's not about Ellis Cummings who want change. He wants us to combine to have the change. You don't have to be member of ANC or member of Liberty Party. So you can support him. And I'm saying it today. Your rights will be protected. You can apply for a civil servant job. Don't say that he should appoint you because it makes no sense. The president can appoint who he wants to appoint. And this president will not be president for CPP. Mr. Cummings will not address the nation from CPP head office when he's president. He will not run from the press. Our so-called journalists then, that when they asking questions, they're fighting. You disrespect people when you're asking questions. You don't even have the opportunity to ask President Weah questions. But when you're asking questions, like you're fighting because you don't know. You don't know. So, Liberian, it is time that we start liking people. Not because I'm running my mouth on Facebook that when I run it tomorrow, then you say, oh, yes, I know money. Know about me if I will be good. Follow my track record. Follow my track record. That's how it works. They're likable, or governmental experience. What have governmental experience done for Liberia? What they done for Liberia? We stay into the same dungeon. All the people with governmental experience, they in power, what they did. Ellen Johnson had the governmental experience. George Weah governmental experience. Joseph Boakai governmental experience. What he did to LPRC, Group of 77. Show me the record. You have a record to run on. If I were in the camp of President VP Boakai, I will not talk about LPMC. There are people who are not born when Mr. Boakai working with LPMC. I will not talk about LPMC. I will talk about the Unity Party government that I was part of. You are not the one making the decision, but stand by the decision, and then you tell the Liberian people this is what was wrong, and some was good. You think everything in George Weah government bad? You listen to your political leader. You listen to Mr. Cummings. He said, I'm putting things together. There are certain things in this government that is good that we will still keep. There are other things that was good in the Turbo administration. There are other things that were good in the Doe administration. We will still keep it. That's what a good leader does. But if you say you don't want to stand by Ellen, you don't want to stand up and say, Ellen, run on your record. You have responsibility. As much as you vice president, you have a responsibility. Group of 77 are number one. They will honor your rules, honor your watch. And you know, some people don't. What they don't understand. Somebody said no, the vice president don't have a voting right in Congress. No, you try and explain it. Good to Liberian people. The vice president breaks the tie. But guess what? In Liberia, the vice president is the only guy with two positions. And listen, he's vice president. He's president of the Senate. The only one with two positions. He's vice president and president of the Senate. And he attends cabinet meeting. The vice president attends cabinet meeting. and the vice president sit over the Senate. The vice president has a voting power, but when it's tied, when it's 50-50 or if it's 15-15, the vice president break it. Even if the vice president don't vote, every concession or laws or whatsoever, once it's come from to reach to the president, the vice president can sign it. And the secretary, if the vice president is not available, the president pro tem will sign it. So if the vice president sign it, it's not a voting right. That is what Edwin Snow was trying to tell them. But any vice president signed it too. He said, no, the vice president get voting right. A smart man come up and said, the secretary general, very smart, and said that, oh, the men don't have voting right. No. And the same secretary general said, these are the smart people. They're too smart. Article 17 of the Constitution said, associate, you have the right to associate or disassociate. They say you have the right to associate or not to. They didn't say associate and disassociate. That they book people, they book people. The one them who every day when they open their mouth, you give up on them. That had they lied to our people. You know me, I like to say this thing here. That is where our people can fool us. I show that Article 17. Because as they want the UP people, when they now do all the thing, and even they say all persons at all time in an orderly and peaceable manner shall have the right to, I'm using my phone so I can push it, to assemble and conduct upon the common good, to instruct their representative to petition the government or other functionaries for the redress of grievances. And now this is where the whole thing, and to associate, let's see, grievances, and to associate fully with others or refuse to associate. Let's see, then let me put it there. They say it is your right, to break it down, it is your right to associate or refuse to associate. So I can say, nope, I'm not joining you. Nope, I don't want to be a member of no labor union. Nope, it is your right. But if you join, the Constitution sweet, yeah. The Constitution, the people, they say if you join, that is where Article 25, I show is Article 25. Article 25, I think that's where it came in. So now if you join, okay, now if you join an association and you fill up the form, and at the bottom of the form they say, as of today's day, blah blah blah, this document are signing, I'm obligated to the association to pay dues and blah blah blah. That means you pay. Or I'm signing this contract for 2 years. Then the same Constitution says in Article 25, obligation of contracts shall be guaranteed by the Republic, and no laws shall be passed which may impair the rights. But you know how people say, we always can say for peace sake. If you sign contract, you can't break the contract. Even you go to court, you can't break it unless there's some penalty. If you say a year for 2 years, that's 2 years. You call the telephone company, you sign a contract, they say, my man, you can't leave now, you stay on a contract, or you will pay the fine, you get $200. That's it. No law can back you. But only in Liberia we get lawyers. And all the things our lawyers can just come and change it. The Supreme Court, former Supreme Court, Musu Scott, was defending, she was against this. She said, not true. Wow. These are the big time lawyers. And they were defending and say, it is my right to associate and disassociate. They said disassociate. That means I already then I leave. No. They say it is my right to associate or refuse. It is my right to participate or not to participate. You can't force me. But our big time people, the Herod Costa, all the people on spoon at the Supreme Court, Musu Scott. Yes, Liberty Party, ANC has the right to leave after they have signed a contract that by signing this contract, if I want to leave, I will not participate in the coming election that we all waiting for. Say no, it is my right to leave. Individual, you can go. We can't stop you. When you sign a contract, you can go and change your name and do something else. But you can't use this name. The fact of the matter is that Mr. Bwaka is not the owner of UP. Mr. Ure is not the owner of ALP. Whether he a founder, he's not the owner. It's incorporated. So if they sue the party, they're not suing you. They will send lawyers and whatsoever. If you sue the individual, like you see, Ure sue Mr. Cummings. ANC was never sued. It was Mr. Cummings who was sued. So it was actually personal, but Mr. Cummings just decided to be the good guy and the most intelligent guy in the whole deal. That's why he refused not to, he decided not to just push it that far, let them go with a dialogue. So you see, the CPP is still together. This wonderful CPP is just like a motor car. They bring it into town. The other people say the car too hot. The other people say the car not correct. We get in the car to drive. They left the car on the highway. Everything was okay until we get the car to the last driver. The last driver tired. He's sleeping. So you see, that is the whole thing. But I will say it again. We are into a race. Mr. Bwaka record will be on the table. Mr. Cummings record will be on the table. If you want to say anything on Mr. Cummings, you can say it. And for some of you who don't have nothing to talk about, but spread lies and going around and think that you will push their gay attitude or whatsoever, it will not work. We will call you out and will tell the Liberian people, shame on you guys who always say Mr. Cummings is a gay. That means you yourself, you are gay, but shame on you because you have nothing to talk about. You lie on an individual who got nothing, but you lie on him. Eh? Because you got nothing on him. Nothing you got on him. But you get up, oh, the man I gay. Hey, your man vote for the man. That all? Eh? Is that all? Y'all look at this fool here. Okay, you're listening to this guy. Or sedition. I know you're not see the tape all over.
I invented it and I stuck it on Ellis Cumming and it stuck. Shit. It stuck. Today did I get to stay on Ellis Cumming? It was something I invented. And the way I did it, I called somebody from Atlanta, where he was living. So I created a story. I called the person and attached the person name to it. The person is a big librarian guy too. He said, yeah, my man, will tell you the truth. So I used that person as a reference. That information. So that's what we did for George Weah to get him to where he is. Shit. Man. Politics is a big game, man. Yeah, so the man of confess that whole gate thing I invented it. Yep. And when I was gonna pick working right, publish that story, the one about your wife and everything. Shit. That's one thing we did for Weah. Because we are pretty tough. We never even want for Weah to come to the microphone. We never want him to come to the microphone. Because if Weah comes to the microphone, it will be hard for us to defend it because that man, he can't talk. Yeah, that man can't talk.
Okay, now this is how most of them, out of frustration, they will speak the truth. Frustration making to speak the truth. All the thing he did for Joshua, that's a sedition. That's a sedition. Who got nothing to say, they got nothing to argue about. And then the surprising thing is that you are looking for the Mamadi tape. I don't have it yet. You go and listen to the Mamadi tape. The interview started when Mamadi was asking the question, a cut. And then he said the next thing, he said the gay issue. They did the editing. And that interview was on radio in Liberia. Nobody talked about it. That's an old interview that was played on radio in Liberia. This thing here came out before, but it was on radio and whatsoever. Nobody said anything about it until CDC took it, edited it, and then to our surprise, UP running with it. The UP government that had all the gays and lesbians in there. Some of them was friends and very close to Rabbi Salif. They calling an innocent man gay. That how dumb and stupid they are. With garbage in, garbage out. That is why they restricted my page for garbage in, garbage out. Why? All the gays and lesbians that was working in the UP government, some of them ain't got nothing to talk about. That's a shame. And sometimes I see some women who will come on your page and they cuss, they say this, they say that. Look, I will say this to the UP people again. We are all in the opposition. If you think we need your vote, you need our vote too. You already complained that because Mr. Cummings did not support Mr. Boakai publicly, that's why Mr. Boakai lost the election. You already, in that time, Mr. Cummings was nothing. At 7%, why you worried about 7%? We need your vote too. We need each other. So it is your right to campaign for Mr. Boakai. It is my right to campaign for Mr. Cummings. And to compare Mr. Cummings with any candidate in the race. Because right now, we all got the mind there will be second round. That's what people thinking. But I am not thinking about second round. I am thinking about first round victory. Until there will be a second round, but for now, it's first round. There's no plan B. If there will be a second round, we will go back and read if we in the second round. But we know Whether it will be your first or second, we will win the first election. That is our plan, and that is what we're working on. I don't know about you, but you can vote for who you want to vote for. You can vote. If you want to vote for somebody because you think that you need to compensate them, then fine. If you want to vote for somebody because you think you love them, it's up to you. It's up to you. But let us know this. We need somebody with the energy. We need somebody who's ready and prepared. And Ellis Cummings is ready and prepared to lead. He retired. He will live in Liberia. He's not going anywhere. It has been proven to us that Mr. Cummings will not go anywhere. He's in Liberia. And Mr. Cummings is the only one who promised and fulfilled his promise. Mr. Cummings is the only candidate who lost an election and went back to the people and tell them thank you, and visited every county and district again to say thank you for your time. Thank you for the opportunity. While the other people were still sitting down. If we don't campaign, then they will win. It's not like that means supposed to campaign for them to eat dry rice and fried fish. No, that's not what I'm talking about. Say if we don't campaign, then they will win. But we will campaign. We have started. We will not stop. We will take our 5 energy, our 5 hours, and whatsoever, and we will move around. We will knock on doors until the Liberian people say we don't want to see you anymore. We will tell the Liberian people who Ellis Cummings is. He's the best. He is the one who is ready, and he is the one with the vision how to create job. That's his job, how to create job. How he will fix the educational system. We're not going to be running all over the place like Mr. George Weah, who will get up in the morning and say, oh, I saw one empty land down the road, I fixed it. Liberians, put your act together. You need leaders. We're looking for a leader that will take us into the 21st century. We need a leader who believes in education, a leader who believes in STEM schools, STEM education. That is the number one thing today. Look at China. Look at South Korea. They graduate more science students and mathematics, engineering students than all students in America. Yeah. Technology is what ruling the world today. And we are backward. We are backward. Liberian kids are very smart. We can make it. Let us change. Let us change. This coming election, it will not be an easy election. President Weah is in charge. He's the ruling party. He's the president. Will not just leave office. UP, who have tasted it before, will do everything to come back to power. I will be honest with you. They will lie. They will do everything to come back to power. Politics is dirty in Liberia. We know that. Some of them will kill their mom to sacrifice for UP to come back to power. But are we prepared? It is the right, or it is a monopoly over presidency, that if it's not UP, it should be CDC. No. No. It can be any other party. But what we are saying yet, we don't want to reach to a situation where we have to choose between two evil. Cummings against George Weah, you cannot compare it. It's banana and orange. You can't compare the two. Yeah. They're not orange and tangerine because they almost look alike. You see. It's possible it could be between the ANC and the UP. So why can't we campaign now? It's possible. Okay, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for everyone. Thanks to everyone. I enjoy them. At least, all the people. You space yourself, my man. LOL. I never did how stupid you are too. Stop fooling yourself, my man. Yeah, how are you, Aaron? How's everything, my bro? Aaron, how's everything with you? He said, why you let to give yourself BB title Ambassador Charles Colley? He said, which CPP, ANC, and half of Liberty Party? You ask yourself a question and you say, which CPP? If you're UP, man, you're supposed to worry about which UP, because we know there's a split in UP too. You know that, eh? Your UP people, you're full of ill. UP say get a split. We know that. You ain't got to hide your own thing there. You stop hiding yourself. Yep. What's up, Smith? Abdullah, thank God you watch me until the whole thing is over. So you the one just worrying yourself to say what you got to say. Charles, how can you say there had never been a tie in the Liberian Senate? Under the early administration, there had never been a tie. You don't know about the other past government. You've been fighting Liberian government. You have been fighting the Liberian Senate. You cannot tell me that I have never been a tie. Tell me when Mr. Bwaka was vice president, he never broke the tie. Please, some of us here, we are very sensitive to answer to question. Don't say they have never been a tie when you can't even prove it. They have other past government. That is the rules of the legislators, or the Senate, that the vice president breaks the tie. That's what I said. I never told you there was a tie. I never said it. So get it right. Don't make a comment that is not right. I hate when people misinterpret people. I consider that as what? Making up or lying. I said if there's a tie, the vice president will break the tie. That is why he has a voting right. When there's a tie, he will break the tie. And every concession or laws that is passed in from it comes from the House to the Senate and it goes through, before it reaches to the president, the vice president can sign it, or the president pro tem along with the secretary of the Senate. Simple. That's what happened. That's how they do it all the time. Maybe you got another way, but don't tell me about there have never been a tie. Go ahead, and you got my number and call. Okay, wait, Julius. Wait. In fact, Lo-fi, let me see something. Oh no. Let me see if I can. Okay, Julius, you can call me. My number is right there. The other phone is open. You can call Julius. Who the hell putting the damn thing on my page here? Best adult dating site. Best adult dating site. Man. Who the hell? Look, somebody try to.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna look. I'm looking for all these tips. I got them on my computer. I'm gonna put them together. The Moluba tip with Akara Gray. Moluba Molu said that, no, Moluba Molu said that he saw Josh Weir and Akara's Gray kiss away. Yeah. Hello.
How you doing?
What's up, Julius? How are you?
Yeah, yeah, this low for.
How are you, my brother?
I'm doing okay. I'm trying to add some bass to my voice so I can get a speaker shoe off, but it ain't working.
My man, just say you acting like you sleeping. Don't consider that bass you trying to add to your voice.
I'm trying to add a bass to my voice so you know. You know how to say if you're not big, your voice can get bigger. You can always make your voice bigger or make it smaller. So I'm trying to fit in somewhere or the other.
Okay, Julius.
But you know, I got a question for you though,
Yeah.
and this is an honest question. I know some probably might see it as though it's a joke, but I'm concerned here. There have been quite a few things. You mentioned the name Charles. I don't know whether it's the same Charles who came up and publicly um, denigrated his current uh, party chairman from the Unity Party. One Charles,
Collie.
what this guy was talking about today. I don't know if you listened to it, and if you did not,
No, I
I
never
urge
listen.
you to go and listen to Noah Zell Gibson um, as he spoke of one Charles and another person who attacked the current Unity Party chairman. You know, while we are seeking George Weah replacement, I'm pretty sure and darn sure nobody wants to have a replica of George Weah leadership.
Yep, it's
Now we
true.
have a group of people who are vouching to represent Liberians at the highest level, but they can barely organize themselves. They are fighting among themselves based on, tribal lines
Yep.
and inter associates association. This is sad. I was listening to Noah Zell Gibson today, and I felt overly discouraged about the way things are going. And that's what I told somebody today. I said, because of greed, we will continue to put ourselves in a position where we will have no option but to simply give up and say, let's just let it go because we're too damn greedy. As people, as human, we don't see reason to fight for the right cause. All right? Most people are simply into this for their individual selfish interest. It's not about Liberia. It's not because they have identified key issues in the country that they feel like an individual can solve for them. Instead,
It's either based on travel lines, based on popularity, or simply based on what do I stand to benefit from this entire process. All right. If you ask currently, and I challenge everybody on your platform tonight, I know you got about 20 something people on here. I want somebody to sit with me on a platform, and I challenge any and everybody. You can call me an ANC supporter or Cummings supporter or whatever. All right. I want you to tell me, and I really hope that you members of the ANC or supporters of Mr. Cummings will start to ask this question as we follow you guys, because we want people to educate us. Besides the continuous claim that Alexander Cummings is not popular, the people don't know him. What is it that they will use to stand against any idea of his presidency? I've asked this question to I don't know how many, even seditions. All right, they will continuously say, "Now, Mr. Cummings is a good guy.
Yeah.
He's capable of doing it. He had the ability to do it, but he's not popular. But the people don't know him." So now I'm left wondering to myself, is this where we really want to find ourselves again? We know where popularity led us. This is where popularity got us. Popularity got us to President George Weah,
Yep.
who does not value his responsibilities as a leader. He have no understanding of his functions. He's popular, very popular. Not only is he popular in Liberia, but the world knows him as George Weah. But when we look at his day-to-day functions, we see that he lacks the understanding of it. Here we are again, instead of us asking ourselves as to what is it that these individuals can bring to the table, what is it that could serve as a stumbling block to the success in their presidency, we're not asking this question. We're talking about how the people don't know them. Finally, let me say this to all of you who feel like you have realized that Mr. Alexander Cummings probably, and I'm not going to speak for anybody, is capable and he's competent enough to take Liberia from where we are to where we want Liberia. Yet and still, because of your tribal lines, because of your political affiliation, because of your selfish, greedy interest, you chose to make the case that he's not known. Mentally, you're lazy. Your laziness proves to the rest of the world that you're not willing to allow your own country to move forward. And that's the reason why you will continuously say and say, let us not compare the United States to Liberia, because you refuse to be challenged mentally, physically, emotionally, and in every other way, because you're too lazy to challenge yourself. The United States and the citizens of the United States are no smarter and other more intelligent than Liberians. But because Liberians have been conditioned to believe that instead of them being employers, they have made themselves employees to their employees. So this is why we find ourselves debating the issue of popularity. Shameful, embarrassing, disgraceful that in this modern dispensation, the 21st century, we are still talking about popularity instead of competence, innovation, creativities. We are talking about popularity. When the virtual world, in the matter of seconds, you can make yourself more popular than anybody can ever imagine. Today, Liberians are still speaking on popularity and love instead of ability to implement successfully. It is embarrassing. But again, let me close on this note. If you or anybody on here tonight can convince me as to why they believe within themselves that I know you would not be able to do this for me, money, but anybody else who is not a supporter or a buyer of the communist ideology, convince me why you think that, all other than the popularity that you guys will always spew out, just convince me why you don't think Cummings could be the right person or could fit in that position to serve as the president based on competence and ability to implement. That's just my question for the night.
Yeah,
Thank
and
you,
you
Monique, for
see,
having me on.
and you said it the right way because that one of the things they always try to use that an argument, oh, nobody know him. And popular and leadership is not popularity contest. It's so
Monique,
sad for our country. And
let me tell you something. In order for you to sell the shirt that is on you, you have to sell the shirt to those who are interested in the shirt.
yep,
And in order to get the shirt, for people to feel interested in the shirt, it requires some innovative thoughts.
yep,
The reason why Kanye West came up with Yeezys was because he first of all created the product, he tested it, and then he said, okay, the best way for me to sell this product is for me to get in the minds of the people,
yep,
for me to sell not only the comfort of this product, but for me to also expose the product in a very affordable way. But because of the value that is added to it, of course, the vendors and other people have to get the cuts. So the price is not going to be at what I expect.
yep,
Now, people who come up very often and say, Mr. Cummings is not known around the world, or he's not in Liberia, are lazy to sell their own product because you have acknowledged, you have agreed that, okay, this man here is just competent enough to take us from where we are to where we want to be. But I'm too lazy. I always want to rely on other people to do the hard work,
yep.
then I come and benefit. So I don't think he's going to win. So let me not even bother.
Let me not
Let me
bother.
find the easiest way out. So
Yep,
every all of them are looking for the easiest way out.
yep,
You ask them, they'll tell you yes, no doubt. Mr. Cummings could be a great candidate. Even some of them are saying to you on various platforms,
yep,
let's just wait for 2029.
yeah,
So I'm asking them these questions. I said, hold on. You want to wait for 2029, leave your people in abject poverty, and don't see reason, all right, to save them from this nonsense when you're not guaranteed tomorrow. How can you guarantee someone else's life until 2029? How? How does that make sense? Secondly, you claim that this man is not popular, but you're willing to agree to have him to serve as your vice presidential candidate. You know what a vice presidential candidate is? Your vice presidential candidate is your president in waiting. God forbid. If anything was to ever happen to the president, he is the next person in line. So you're willing to say, Manette, I'm asking you to give my Facebook account information or your Facebook account information to Lofa, so that God forbid, if you can log into your Facebook the next time Lofa can come on, instead of you saying, Money, give your Facebook account information to your son
yeah.
or your daughter or your wife or somebody, so that God forbid they can have access to the information. How logical is that? I'm literally struggling to to understand this. I want you to be my vice president, but I don't want you to be my president
Yeah,
because you're not popular,
yeah,
right? Little do you understand, even Honorable Boycott himself said it. Most of Ellen's decision that were made by her, she actually asked for his consent.
yep,
They sat on the table, discussed it prior to its implementation. You know what? I am not about to get older than I am because of Liberian people ignorance. I'm just, sometimes I sit and think about these things. I wonder to myself. And when you say these things, people say, oh, guess what? You're a coming supporter. You're an ANC man.
yeah.
You, oh, it's just logical. Convince me why this man is not competent to serve. I've been asking all of these,
And they will
even
not tell you.
physicians.
They will
When
not
you
tell you.
ask them, what make you think that this man is not competent enough? They say, oh no, we're not talking about him being competent. We just want to give George Weah 12 years and then 2029 is him. You go to Unity Party, you ask them, why don't you think that this man is competent enough? Oh, we're not saying he's not competent. He's competent enough, but he is not favorable among the people right now. The people will not vote him. So you're lazy enough to sell your good product to the people to buy it
Yeah.
because you feel like you're just too lazy to work. You know this thing is good. You know the product benefits the people. You know again. You would not you would not feel embarrassed if you saw the product, but you're lazy to make the case. So you say, you know what? I'm just gonna take the easiest route, even though I know the easiest route is not gonna yield
Yep.
the needed benefit. Man, God, you know what? God pray. Yeah, you guys keep praying for Liberia,
We will.
and we will sit in the back and keep watching.
You can say it
Yeah.
back. You were
Thank
stuck.
you
You were
for
still
having me on.
talking.
Take back a cup of coffee. I heard you stole a cup of coffee. Take it back.
I'm telling you, I gotta take it back.
All right, bye.
Okay, thank you. You see, he said it the way it's supposed to be. He said because we I don't understand. Nobody, and for those of you who watching, I know you heard what he said. Nobody tells you about Cummings not qualified. They say, oh yes, Mr. Cummings can do this, he can do that, he got everything, but the people don't know him. But you rather take the shortcut because the people don't know him. Why you think Mr. Cummings can be president? Oh, let Mr. Cummings just go as vice president because Mr. Mbwaka was there for 12 years because the old man will be out. Oh, the old man will not make it in 3 years. The sedition say, listen, let Mr. Cummings just give we us 12 years, then we will join Mr. Cummings and make Mr. Cummings the next president. The other people say, oh no, Mr. Cummings just coming. He's good. He's everything. He got a contact. He got this. He can take Liberia from this place to another place. But what is the but? Just what Lofa said. Because we are lazy, we want the shortcut, we want the easy route. We got three groups of people in Liberia. We got people who wish for things to happen. They just wish, but they're not working. They wish for it to happen. Ego, I'm hungry, I ain't get a job, but they're not looking for a job. They got other people who knows that this thing here is right, but they're looking at it and see if it will happen. They got correct, but I want help. I will be in the back. Let me see if it will happen. And then they got people who make things happen. They got people who fighting and talking, doing campaigning, saying, I can do this thing here. I can do this. I can do this. The people then who wish for things to happen, that they listen people first. They pray to God. They say faith will up, prayer will up faith is a dead faith. They say, hey God, I ain't get job, but they can't look for job. They sit down in the house whole day. Hey God, I'm hungry. They can't look for food. They got the other people then who knows that John Brown is good. They think John Brown is doing. Well, I will watch and see how far he will go. By the time he get to the point, I will come there too. I put that brain will. By the time John Brown get into it, then I can, hey my man, yeah, I'm here to help you now. Yeah, I give my support. By the time John Brown was fighting, you say, I don't think that guy can make it, man. Three group of people. Which part of you? Which part? You want to see it happening first before you help. But you know that John Brown, who is struggling to claim, John Brown has the quality, John Brown got everything. But you don't want to be through, you don't want to go through the headache with John Brown. So I rather choose Mr. Peter over there, who when he get there will be easy for me. But you know Mr. Peter will not make a difference. We don't want to go back to the same place where we select between two evils. And I love what Julius said. That is the challenge. Why you think Mr. Cummings is not qualified to be president of Liberia? Why? Everybody said Mr. Cummings is good until it's so shameful. Even the people you consider corrupt, they themselves now notice that Mr. Cummings is a good man. And guess what happened? They're leaving you behind. They're gone. They're leaving you behind. They are in a fight right now, fighting for Mr. Cummings to be president. Then tomorrow, when they have already transformed themselves and changed their lives around, and they start to work, then you vex. Right now, they're part of a group where Mr. Cummings have stood up and said, listen, this is my principle. I stand by what I say. I want the war crime court. He said, put me on record. If I don't do it, put me on record. I want the war crime court. I will fight corruption with everything in me, including my pay. I don't want the pay. If anybody in my group that you will steal under my administration, guess what? You will go to Mr. Cummings never said I will jail you because you are stealing. He know yet. He's not going to wish hunt nobody. Most of the people they have been prosecuted in the public court of opinion. So he's not going to go behind and say, oh, yeah, they say Natana Mageda road. They got to investigate Natana Mageda, which is truth. But Mr. Cummings is saying that under my administration, if my anti-corruption or the auditing, General Auditing Bureau come up and say John Brown lost and misused X money, dollar, or the anti-corruption say, listen, this guy here has been indicted, we got to take him to court. Mr. Cummings will fire you. He will not tell you to resign. He will fire you and say, listen, go and face your stuff. When you finish, maybe I'll reconsider it. That is what we're talking about. Leadership. It has proven Mr. Cummings is a leader. But nobody, I have not seen nothing where people say that Mr. Cummings don't have it. Sometimes it gives us surprise and say that because of people like you, we can't vote for Mr. Cummings because we can be talking to us. Why people like me, business should stop you from voting for something good? Even if I come up and say, my man, you ain't got no damn sense, man. That the one will make you vex not to support somebody who you think is good. I am not an advisor to Mr. Cummings. So I'm supporting Mr. Cummings. I want you to come in too. I'm not stopping you. And I will not even suppress you. I will not take what belongs to you or what belongs to me. We will not take nothing from each other. But we all know that Mr. Cummings is the best guy. Mr. Cummings is the one who is prepared. Mr. Cummings has retired. Look at his past and know where he's coming from and see him today. Just say he's desperate. But they got people who want to be president, not moving, they ain't going nowhere. When they go out today, they don't go back to 3 weeks or 1 month. When they meet the community today, they won't go back there again. Then you say popularity. Oh, yes. Mr. Weah, his popularity is from football. President Weah popularity from football is not from no other work in Liberia. It's not from the war, it's from football, soccer. Mr. Boyka popularity is for 12 years as president, not even from manager of LPMC or LPRC. Don't let or agriculture minister. Most of you guys never knew Boyka until Boyka became vice president for Ellie Johnson. So being a vice president for 12 years, you're popular. You're popular. People know you. But what have you done? So what we are saying, let the old man see reasons. Let him see reasons that we need a support. Don't get vexed. Don't kill me for that. We need a support. We need somebody strong who is ready and prepared. We need it. You try before you win it. You can't win it again easily. This is not dress right, dress now. Not because Joe Weah tried 2 times and then the 3rd time he got it. No, that's not the thing. Not because you try. You try it first. You don't get it. So I don't know when you talk about numbers. What do you mean by numbers? You talk about numbers, you don't even know the statistics. You don't even know. If you want to look at numbers, look back and tell you, you don't have no statistics to show. The ruling party in Liberia always got more people coming to them when they are doing good. CDC was just bad lucky because people are going to CDC, but because CDC started messing up, everybody they went back. People went to Unity Party because they knew that Ellen was doing her best, and most of them went there. But right after the election, everybody left. They start fighting among themselves. You say UP together. If UP together, why they push a lot of people out? UP split. We all know UP split. They are talking about Liberty Party split. Yeah, Liberty Party, they're having their convention and having a reconciliation talks. But Ellis Cummings is the best man. So I love what Julius said. Let somebody bring up the argument and tell us why Mr. Cummings cannot be president of Liberia. I'm telling you that Mr. Bouaka, we cannot make Mr. Bouaka president of Liberia based on his overall his performance. 2, his age and health would not permit him. My people, let me tell you something. Pacemaker is pacemaker. They can put pacemaker in you and you live for 10 days, 1 day, 20 years. You can do that. But pacemaker is about what? I'm not a medical doctor, but the last time I was looking at it, stress. If anything stress that woman up right now, that pacemaker shut off straight. That's it. Stress. You're not the same. The library is stressful. Or that somebody going to be doing the job. How many times in this year that the old men have show up to a program? How many programs old men have went to? I can count it. I can count the programs the old men went to. Can the old man attend, get on a campaign trail for 1 month? We all going to get old one day. There are some people who in their 60s, their knee hurting, they're in the wheelchair. I agree. They call it the mind is willing, but the body is weak. You can run with that old man for 1 month to campaign, Maryland, go to these places, or that the popularity again. But that is why we're telling you, Mr. Cummings have changed the political landscape in Liberia. Yeah. Somebody said to me the other day, oh, you know that Tier 1 Gonglo supporter. He said, my man, nobody know Mr. Cummings. People know Tier 1 in Monrovia or where? Tier 1 ever run for public office before? There are a lot of people in Liberia who don't know Tier 1 Gonglo. Oh, yeah, there are a lot of people in Liberia. People in Monrovia know Tier 1. People in Nima County know Tier 1. People who Tier 1 work for know Tier 1. Not everybody know Tier 1 Gonglo. Not everybody. What you put in is what you get. So, guys, you say we are 2023, we are 2029. Don't be too confident before this job. We are disappointed that you're not contesting. Yeah. So, and I know somebody just text me. I talked about it already. I'm not going to go after Stanton. He's my friend. He want to play his joke. It's up to him. But he just got to be careful what he say on Facebook. Because I hope if I decide tomorrow to give the jokes to, I hope he will accept it. Because I believe that it was very personal to lie on social media that Munel Kishin stole coffee. Yeah. So I think it was disrespectful to me to make such a statement. So tomorrow, if I decide to speak, I'm not going to lie on him. But if I decide to say something too, I hope you will understand it. If you can't stand the heat, you leave the kitchen. Yeah. So I want to say thanks to you guys. Today is Saturday. My son got a game. And then we'll continue. We'll fight. We'll say, those of you who believe that Mr. Cummings will not be president, it's good for you. You don't have the number, then don't worry about him. We are 7%. We are member of the 7% group, and we are proud to be member of the 7%. But I know my statistics and my belief is right. Mr. Cummings will be the next president. And you know something? People who always say, people that are saying that Mr. Cummings cannot be, he don't have the numbers, are the same people who are talking. The same people over and over. Like some of the radio station, let me tell you something, some of the radio stations, some of the talk show on Facebook, you'll notice that is that the same group of people that call the radio station all the time, call the show all the time, the same group of people. The same people. We know exactly where they can call from. I don't know if they get a number on speed dial, but if and listen, I want to give this announcement quick. I don't even have it on my thing yet. The the general show again. Let me say that the general show is sponsored by the Dumuya Factor. There's a special group that was supporting Dumuya, Manipaki Dumuya, and they are the one that's supporting the general show, and they're supporting the general show 100%. They are the one who making that payment, and although they got other people who, let me see if they can. Let me take this off. Okay. If you can hear me there, please let me know. Because I'm tired with this earphone here. I'm trying to use one. So the Dumuya Factor group, Friends of Dumuya, they are the number one supporters and sponsors of the general show. And maybe they might be changing the name later on. But I want to appreciate them and my friend and brother Peel and Amanda Wright and L. Louis Page. I think Sis Frances and other people, but I don't know who are in that group. But I want to say thank you very much. And also to other people like Gwen and Madeline. You got Siafa, I will not call the other people. And you got my Morella, Sis Morella, and sometimes I receive money from people too who their name is different on their stuff. Chiba, what's up, my man? The general love politics. Yep. And listen, you saw the book that they call, there's a book written by Chief Dukley. Let me see. Momolu Dukley. Mandingo Man in America. Yes, by Liberian presidential hope for 2029. Go on Amazon, and this book you will see it, The Mandingo Man in America. Mandingo Man in America. It's just $20. I think $20.25 if you want a hard copy. It's a nice book. I went through it a little bit. You enjoy it. Mandingo Man in America. And I just see he said Liberia presidential hopeful 2029. His name is Chief Sekou Dukley. Chief Sekou Dukley. Julius, check on Amazon. You see the book. You can get it. It's nice. I don't know why I have my copy. I had it. I got it in my car. Then going through it, and it's all about his life in America. Yeah, but the way I love the way he personalized him. The Mandingo Man in America. Yeah. When you go on Amazon, you find it. You can help patronize him.
and he got a cut. Amazon got a cut, but it's actually they got $20 and $25. So I won't try to bring him on. And guys, I will be bringing a guest up soon, Dr. Kier. I think you all know Dr. Kier and Josh Kier. And he was the candidate, presidential candidate once for New Deal. And Larry Toba was his VP, his vice standard bearer. I check in my coffee money. The one that Stanton said I stole the people coffee, so that the money I check in here. So listen, when I get best, I'm pissed off, but I'm calm. Relax. It's not my time yet. They say when the time is rep, and then you say it, you can come back. But I know he would text me, and he knows very well. He's my friend. Be friend with you. It's just that you don't joke too hard like that. You don't make people look. Monikisha, you don't know what I mean to say Monikisha stole coffee. I said my phone was blowing up out in the theater, man. My daughter said, "But Daddy, why your phone just ringing? I just text was just coming in." I said, "But when I look at the text, I got mad fresh." I said, "You know what? Yeah." I said, "Anyway, let me just forget it." So November 26th, ANC will be at the. Oh, I thought you retired, Gwen. Because also working a young woman, they want to retire. ANC will be at the SKD Stadium this month, November 26th. We'll shut the city down. We ain't got numbers. We ain't got nobody. The people we get that the people will carry to the stadium. The people that we got that the people will carry. In Liberia today, the comings we want to. In Liberia today, the comings we want to. Come 2023, comings will win the election to go to the executive mansion to lead our nation. A comings, yeah, the man who we want for our president. A comings, oh, comings, yeah, the man where we want to for our president. Infrastructure, that comings, say, the man where we want to for our president. Job creation, that comings, say, the man where we want to for our president. Agriculture, that comings, say, the man where we want to for our president. Education, that coming say, the man where we want to for our president. Healthcare, that coming say, the man where we want to for our president. Government inclusion, that coming say, the man where we want to for our president. In Liberia today, the comings we want to. In the hands, in Liberia today, the comings we want to. Come 2023, comings will win the election to go to the executive mansion to lead our nation. A comings, the man with vision. Oh, people, please cast your ballot and let us vote for Cummings. A Cummings, Cummings. The man where we want to for our president. Liberia say, that Cummings, the man where we want to for our president. Our Oma then say, that Cummings, the man where we want to for our president. The nurses say, that Cummings, the man where we want to for our president. LP say, that Cummings, the man where we want to for our president. So, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for this nice song by the man himself, the general. Oh, ABC, 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 ABC all the way. We will win. Johnson Johnson will win bigly. We will win. We will defeat any candidate. Going may make mistake. What you put in is what you will get. If you work hard, you will get the result. We will knock on doors, going alive. You will be there. We will be there. We all will vote. Don't get me wrong. We will vote. Let me show my librarian lesson. I don't break my librarian lesson. Some of y'all here, y'all thought librarian. Y'all in librarian say, ain't get license. You see my license here? You see my LIB license? This is my driver's license from Liberia. Let me show my voting card. Oh, we're not bringing the damn card. We will vote. We will vote in Liberia. We will vote. We will go from door to door. We will campaign in our place. That we will talk to our people. We're not fighting them. We believe in the people. Don't blame yourself. Don't let nobody fool you. They come on Facebook from Liberia. The same people. The same people. And guess what I like? Right now, they're not plenty for the one person watching me. But I get 5,000 people on my page. I got plenty of Facebook pages. I got 5,000. When I finish, they will watch it. You can go to YouTube and watch it. You can go to Twitter. If you must have friends on Twitter, it's on Twitter right now. If you my friends on, if you're on Voice Matter, you're on Voice Matter. If you go in the general chat room, it's on the general chat room. Then I share with all the other small chat room. So that's it. The people that watch me, so don't get vessel, don't get vessel, don't get vessel, don't get vessel. In the political dial room and chat room, I send it to all my Vanna get it, Kofa body, all the people Stella Waterspoon, everybody get it. They will listen to it, and John Mawolo, all these people then get it. The people then in Liberia get it, Richard Johnson, all my correct people then all of them get it. Yeah. This is the general, the ANC general, the real general. The one I don't buy and blow. When I blow you, I blow you. Yeah. Okay, so all of them get it now. That they get it, they will wash it. You see, I share to all my contact. So all you need to do is share with your contact too. And so, then when Mr. Cummings is in Nema County right now, he went for a funeral. And Mr. Cummings will be visiting District 6, Georgia neighborhood. And yeah, Julius, that joke was out of line. Let me tell you something. And people got pissed off. Even my wife was so mad. But I just told her, I said, listen, don't worry. Don't worry about it. My wife was ready pissed off. She called me off. She said, where are you? She thought I said, no, to the theater. I care of the kids. She said, what I'm hearing right now, because my wife, she's not ready into the Facebook thing because and people call me from Liberia. But you see, and Julius, these are some of the things. Sometimes we don't know how to joke. You don't joke on social media with people names. But the good thing about it is that people know me very well. And some of the people who text me, they say, Monel, don't react. Don't say nothing. People who are very close to him call me. They say, Monel, I will beg you, don't say anything. Because I was really pissed off first. I was really pissed off. I don't like to know, but I was pissed off. You know, sometimes that's where their ability comes in. You gotta be able to restrain yourself. I was so pissed off is I want to I almost walk out from the theater to tell my kids I'll be back quick. Just to go on Facebook, sit in my car and pledge. I said, and I'm worth it. And I'm worth it. So guys, please don't forget, I need your contribution. Listen, I need a bike for Siliki. And I want to say thanks to one person made a contribution there. I couldn't call the name because she don't like for me to call her name. Siafa made a contribution, and Sis Annie, thank you very much for your contribution. And Mr. Yo, my favorite, Mr. and Mistress Yo, they're always making contribution. Yeah. And Jeremiah S. Yo. Now you let me see. Yeah. YOHN. Thanks for that contribution. And Siafa Dix, thank you very much for your contribution. I can't call the other person name. She don't like me to call her name. And Sis Gwen, I'm waiting for your contribution. I need to get something for my boss, Sidiki. Please, I need you guys to help me. Let us get a bike for Sidiki. Sidiki is doing too much. Too much. Sidiki is doing a lot. He got to go to cover this. He got to do that. And we have already priced the bike. They get a bike. We're going to get a very good bike for $1,000. Come with the helmet. We're going to register it and make sure he's legit. And he will be in his form because he need to get ready. All we need to do now is to look for the gasoline that Sidiki will be able to move to places. And I'm going to send him his laptop, his bag, and that he will put it on his back. And when he's moving to these places, they will say, yes, the general himself is here. He represents him. Thank you, Sidiki, for everything you're doing. Yeah. Sorry that you guys do not hear me, but Monique is doing a good job summarizing my views. Yes, Julius, you hit it, man. I'm telling you, I'm telling you that point that you strike. That is one of the points that nobody can tell you. Nobody. You ask the question. Why think we can make Cummings president? Oh, to be frank with you, Cummings just coming. To be frank with you, nobody knowing election are numbers. Wow. Like Julius said, they say, oh, don't compare America with Liberia, which is true. Celebrities, who people run behind, when they get into politics, it's a different thing. It's a different ball game. You got to work you don't come from the celebrity world and get straight into politics. You got to work your way into the politics. Eto started working with the Cameroon FA. Gradually today, he's the chairman of the FA. In Africa, Draba left, boom, he jumped into it. They said, no, we're not ready for you. And Benny Pele, oh no, we're not ready for you. The people know. You got to show another popularity. Liberians will need to stop it. Leadership is not popularity contest. Yeah. It's sad. It's good for people to be popular. It's good for you to be popular. But if you want to use your popularity you can be popular and qualify and prepare and ready for certain things, which is good. It's good. It works together. But we vote for individual because of popularity. Look at it. Look at it today. Look at it. Everybody can tell us that President Weah is not qualified. Oh, but the people want him. Everybody tells that. But now you got somebody who you yourself know that is good and prepared, that can take this country from A to B. But you say, my man, the people are not ready for the man. If you say the man good, then why you want to support him too? Or because you want to support Mr. Brown, because Mr. Brown from your county, or because you're from the same tribe? Or because Mr. Brown was the one who was there for 2 times, so we got to keep Mr. Brown. Mr. Brown met me here. In politics, it's not no first come, first serve. No, it's not. You get somebody who going around it. If that was job he was looking for and bring his resume, by this time, he's president. If we're going by resume, right now, at this present moment, if they were going by resume and all the little things that on our resume, Mr. Bwaka would not stand Mr. Cummings if they go to look for job. Because Mr. Bwaka, Mr. Cummings have worked and proven to himself to the world that he's this, he have done this, XYZ. Mr. Bwaka don't have it. Did I just look at the qualifications and say, oh, the man graduated from Sky School or college or whatsoever? That's what people looking at. If you go in you're still talking about 1979. You're telling us about LPRC, man. When the children who you want to vote for, they didn't even know nothing about LPRC. They knew you were your vice president. And George Lobo came out to attack Dr. Francel because Dr. Francel talked about Mr. Bwaka pacemaker. I know he will attack me too. Mr. Bwaka pacemaker. It never came from my mouth. It came from Mr. Bwaka's own mouth. And I know pacemaker is not anything for anybody to think that is something like somebody who get knee trouble. Pacemaker is a machine. It works on a battery. So if you go behind that woman right now and yell, when that woman go there, they finish. You don't know that? Eh? You don't know that? If that woman just get up and say, hey, he done. Okay, guys. Y'all have a good day. God bless you. I love my country, Liberia. I love you guys. Don't forget to make a contribution. You have to make a contribution. I nothing with your like I said people when I can't ask anything. All the people that been contributing to me, I ask them for nothing. Yeah. You know, these are some of the librarians Julius just talked about. He said his name is Amadou. He said if these opposition were capable of leading Liberia, how come their coalition failed? Thank God. You the dumbest man for the day. You the most dumbest human being for the day, just from your post. What opposition with four parties coming together and don't come together got to do with leading? Tell me. It is true. Anyway, stupidity is not for sale, but fools get it free. And when you get it free, garbage in, garbage out. No matter how long laser stays into the water, it would never turn to be a crocodile. It would never turn to a crocodile. But remember this is a special quote I love all the time by Albert Payne. No matter what you do for yourself, it will die with you. But whatever you do for others and the world will remain as immortal. That means you got all your riches, you got your education, and you think it's all that. When you die, it's finished. But whatever you do for other people, by helping and stretching your hands, respecting people, it will live forever. And don't forget, this is a popular story by this guy who has this big wisdom, an older guy, and the kid came to trick him. And he said, Prof, he said, in my hand, I got a bird. I want you to tell me if this bird in my hand is alive or dead. Because if the old man say alive, he will release it and be alive. If we say alive, he will squeeze it to kill it. And then he said, oh no, the bird is dead. If he said the bird is dead, then he will release it to let the bird go. So when the old man told him, he said, my son, the life of that bird is in your hands. He said the life, if that bird will survive, it's on you. If that bird will die, it's on you. So Liberians, for Liberia to survive, is in your hands. God will not vote for you. You can only pray for God to give you wisdom, but God will not vote for you. You must register and then you vote. You cannot stay back and think that it will change. Do not be like the other people who wish for things to happen when you're not even working towards it. So you must register and vote. Exercise your constitutional right. You don't have to do it for Cummings, but I am saying that Cummings is the best person. But you have the right to choose who to vote for. But you must register first, then you vote. Be part of the process. And to the other Liberians, don't sit and wait until other people struggle and you want to come in and get the glory. Don't watch and see what will happen first. Be a part. For some of us who want things to happen, that we align and we're fighting to make things happen, we must open our arms to the other people no matter what, who want to join you to make things happen. Because you want things to happen, so you must open your arms to everyone who are willing to come in to help. Don't be selfish. You alone cannot give him victory. You got one vote. The man that live Pinsville with a Mercedes-Benz, nice clothes, he got one vote. The Zogo that live in Penham building, no slippers, no food to eat, but he got a registration card, it's one vote. Mr. Cummings, one vote. George Weah, one vote. Mr. Boyka, one vote. But together, that's how you win. Let it be about your country, not about what my country can do for me. It's what you can do for your country. Everything we're doing is about Liberia. Whether I'm against, we are opponents. We're not enemies. We are opponents. We all want good for Liberia. It's the style of him. But I am saying he's a terrible leader. And that is what we, and I want to believe that this is the end of terrible leaders in Liberia. We must put stop to it. And for us to do that, it's in the hands from 29 to 35 years old. Your future is right in your hands. It's your vote. And the only man who is prepared to take you, to lead you into that 21st century, is no other person but Alex Cummings. It's Alex Cummings. The truth is the truth. You don't want to hear it. But election day is coming. Thank you very much. And God bless you.